Not only that you want a certain block of code to execute when the condition is true, but at the same time, you may also want to execute a certain other block of code if that very same condition is false. So in those kind of scenarios, you have basically two options. One of the options is very simple. You may end up writing another condition and specify something like this. If total tax is less than 500, then I would like to print another statement, just like we have done for our if statement early on. So let me say that the tax is too low, and now we know that if this condition is going to be true, then this is going to be executed. If this condition is going to be true, then the second line will be executed. But if you take a close look at both of the conditions, these are mutually exclusive, which means that if the first condition is going to be true, the second one is definitely going to be false. And if the first condition is going to be false, then the second condition is going to be true. Now, these two conditions will do the job, but it seems a bit redundant, especially the second condition. If we know that the first condition is true, why do we need to compare why do we need to have this comparison? Now, for these kind of scenarios, R provides us an if-else construct. I'll show you if-else construct, but first of all, let me just execute this just to show you that it works as we are expecting it to work. So it says that the tax is too high, and it has skipped the second part because the first condition was true, and we were selecting this first vector as employee tax, yeah, and then we were summing, and okay, fair enough. Now if I select the second vector, and let me just control and let me comment this piece of code out and run it, now it should say that the tax is low because we know that the first condition was false, so the second condition was true. But as I said earlier on, that this second condition seems a bit redundant. We are having two comparisons, mutually exclusive, and R provides us with an if-else construct to avoid this kind of situation. Whenever you're dealing with mutually exclusive scenarios, you can use if-else. So you can use else as soon as you specify your closing bracket. That is important, otherwise it will generate an error. So as soon as you specify your closing bracket, specify else, and then the opening bracket and closing bracket for this second block of code which you want to execute in a scenario when the main condition is false. So let me just execute it just to confirm that this works as expected. Now we know that the employee tax has this vector, so we are hoping that the first condition is going to be, the main condition is going to be false, so this else block is going to be executed, and we can see that the else block has been executed. Now let's say if we uncomment the first line and comment the second line, so hopefully the main condition is going to be true, and this else block will be skipped. So let us create the console, select all the lines, try to execute, and we can see that the tax is too high. So this block of code has been executed while the else section has been skipped.